This fourth annual Regional Human Trafficking Summit is a space where those who are doing the work in the anti-human trafficking space can come together. We want to make sure that folks are able to hear from survivors and learn from them.
You know, when I think of human trafficking, I'm really pleased that there is a concerted effort, even from the Attorney General's office here within the Commonwealth of Virginia, to combat this head on, to understand that this is a blight on our society and it affects humans. And it's our responsibility as human beings, our responsibility one to another to help eradicate this.
It's very important to have survivors as part of the conversation because, again, survivors, not one, we live through it, so we know the ins and outs on how to help you. Human trafficking is a global problem. And for me, human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery. And don't think that you are in Virginia, it doesn't happen. Here, it happens. When I did testify in Congress, I think 2 years ago, one of the rep just came up to me and told me the story of a family member that was also a victim of the situation. Like, you would think someone like that doesn't happen in their family, but it does.
I think one of the most important things to know is that human trafficking for many people is a sense of entrapment, and also making sure that we support them in ways that they don't have a voice for themselves. And so that's hopefully my job here in the legislature, but for the general public, make yourself aware. When you're out and about, keep your eyes open. If there's something that just doesn't seem right, there's nothing wrong with placing a phone call just to make sure someone's okay.
For movements to be successful, including the movement to combat human trafficking, I think it's critical that organizations identify the next achievable focus. That is, not try to address everything all at once, but identify a next incomplete gain towards general success in the future. And if we can focus on something, I think we can achieve it. What I draw on more than anything else is the resiliency of survivors that show that freedom is worth the fight. When you see people on the other side of exploitation who are working so hard to overcome and deal with the trauma that they experienced and forge new lives in freedom, it makes us want to get everybody else free as well.
We focus on engaging not just with other law enforcement partners, but also with our community, creating awareness of the human trafficking threat within our area of responsibility is one of our priorities. So I think the easiest way to help us is to report it.
So the world's largest criminal enterprise is narcotic trafficking. The second largest is human trafficking. It's $150 billion a year. And it's in every community, rural, suburban, and urban. And one thing we've recognized as Virginians want both collaboration. The governor put together a human trafficking task force just on this issue. We want a real victim-focused, trauma-informed approach to our victims, because a victim is not going to feel comfortable testifying in a court of law if they don't feel like they are being cared for, and that we have really a trauma-informed way for them to be able to reach a point where they feel safe enough to testify. We're partnering with those in the community, our 100% Business Alliance on Trafficking, where we've put together a training module that could be part of their orientation to get 100% of their employees trained on what to look for, what are the signs of human trafficking, but most importantly, what to do if they suspect. And so all of those means that we can have a partnership with with everyday Americans, everyday Virginians. They can partner with us to make sure they're working with law enforcement, we can begin this. And then finally, the governor and I are championing initiatives in the General Assembly, enhancing penalties on the biters, and also enhancing penalties and protection for minors. So we're excited about where we are. We have a lot more work to do.